Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you are listening to today's pre-recorded on-demand webinar. Thank you all so much for joining Railbookers as today we talk about Alaska by land with Railbookers. My name is Jim Marini, proudly your host here today. And today's presentation is scheduled to be about 20 to 25 minutes, so I hope you can join us all the way through because we got lots of exciting trips to share with each and every one of you, certainly who want to see the last great frontier. Now, for those of you who may not be as familiar with Railbookers, we are part of the Yankee Leisure Group family of brands. And if you look on the left-hand side of your screen, folks, yes, I'd like to say we know a thing or two about rail vacations. Why? Because our sister brand is Amtrak Vacations. We are the official tour operator here in the United States that operates all rail vacations for Amtrak, ranging from 3, 4, 5 days to 1 and 2 weeks long, getaway trips, cross-country trips, even out to some of the beautiful national parks in the lower 48, the continental USA. Now, if you look on the right-hand side, that is Railbookers. This is all of our Canadian, European, worldwide rail vacations, and yes, even including Alaska by rail. Now, some of you might be wondering, well, why is Alaska part of Railbookers and offered through Railbookers and not Amtrak Vacations? It's actually very simple. As you'll see today, you get a chance to travel on the iconic train known as Alaska Railroad. And we have so many great packages that we already have put together, and any of them can be customized or personalized just the way you and your friends and family would like. Now, here's the best part, folks. Certainly for any of you looking to travel in the domestic USA, the lower 48, the continental USA, our sister brand, Amtrak Vacations, you can literally leave today. So if you want to visit friends and family in other parts of the country, if you want to just get out of your house and do something fun, whether it's for a special anniversary or birthday, whatever the reason is, you can actually travel literally from today all the way until 2023. And that includes Alaska, Canada, Europe, and beyond. So you can have something to look forward to. Now, there's so many reasons why travelers love Railbookers. If you look in the top left-hand corner, folks, when you or your local travel advisor book any Alaska package with us, or certainly any packages with us, our rail experts know the rail, the best routes, the best times, ensuring that you have the best vacation. As I mentioned, you can book and travel literally from today with our sister brand, Amtrak Vacations, all the way until 2023. Now, we do have a maximum flexibility offer going on, which I will tell you about in just a little bit. We also have the largest rail vacation selection, not only in the world, but also in the United States between Railbookers and our sister brand, Amtrak Vacations. And no rail trip is too complicated for us. So again, any trip can be customized or personalized just the way you would like. Now, in regards to our maximum flexibility offer, folks, when you make a new reservation with Railbookers, which typically only requires a small deposit of around 250 US or 250 Canadian dollars, once you have deposited on your trip of a lifetime, if you did need to change or postpone your trip, whatever the reason is, we are waiving any and all change and cancellation fees. Basically, in a nutshell, folks, we have overwritten our change and cancellation policy, allowing each of you to enjoy the freedom to change your dates, duration, or even the destination of your vacation up until 60 days prior to departure. So certainly if you're looking for an exciting trip of a lifetime to Alaska and you're looking to travel in the summer or fall of 2022 or even into 2023, you automatically will have that peace of mind with our maximum flexibility offer. Now, what you'll hear about today is so much that Railbookers has to offer. And as I always say, it's so much more than just rail tickets. If you look in the top left-hand corner, obviously, we could take care of your train accommodations on board. We have all different types of categories, which I'll talk about a little bit today, certainly on Alaska Railroad, that you can pick and choose from. But we also partner with trains worldwide, from the iconic trains to luxury to high speed to even some of those local trains. We include sightseeing activities, hotels. Did you know you can even choose between 3, 4, and 5-star hotels on the same trip, or 3, 4, and 5 diamond hotels on the same trip? Ferries, transfers, excursions, overnight rail journeys, and so much more. Now, let's move into some of these exciting packages. And one of the things I will start out by saying is any of you that are interested in traveling to Alaska by rail, maybe in place of sail, or maybe in addition to sail and doing a rail and sail combination, we can help you, whether it's an extension onto your cruise, before or after your cruise, or as its own exciting land rail vacation. And this is one of our most popular packages I wanted to start out with today, otherwise known as our Denali National Park and the Arctic Circle onboard Alaska Railroad. Now, folks, we here at Railbookers, as I mentioned, we pretty much can book most of everything for you, from, again, not just the rail, but hotels, sightseeing tours, meals. We can even book car rentals for you in Alaska. The only thing we do not book are flights. So certainly, if you have a local travel advisor or a local travel agent that you have worked with or would like to work with, certainly they can book any of these packages, and they also can book your round trip air. Because in this particular package, you start in the great city of Anchorage. And then from there, folks, after spending some time in Anchorage, you then board Alaska Railroad. Now, we're going to talk about the different categories on board the train, but the first level, the main seating on board the train, is known as adventure class. That's what you're looking at right here. This has 2 extra large seats on one side, 2 extra large seats on the other, and it's open seating, so you get to pick and choose where you would like to sit. Now, obviously, being in Alaska, known as the last great frontier, you can't go to Alaska, folks, without visiting Denali National Park. Now, what you're looking at right here is known as the Denali Caverns. These are located only about 9 miles away from the entrance of Denali National Park. And there's only about 30 to 40 of these small little cabins, giving you that rustic feel right in the wilderness. Obviously, as I mentioned, this trip also includes the famous Arctic Circle. It also goes to Fairbanks. So what's nice is, again, when you fly into Anchorage, where this tour begins, you'll get a chance to see so much more of Alaska before ending in Fairbanks. So keep this package in mind, folks. 7 days, 6 nights, starting as low as $13.49. And all the pricing that you see in today's presentation is based in double occupancy. So per person, 2 to a room. If any of you are single or solo travelers, we do have single rates available as well. And I will mention, we are open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Why not have something exciting to look forward to? Now, as we continue on, as I mentioned, we have several different packages to choose from. Here's a great package for those of you that are looking for maybe a little shorter trip, a trip that might be a little less expensive, our Denali National Park Express with Alaska Railroad traveling northbound. Now, again, you're going to get a chance to spend time in some of the great major cities, Anchorage being one of them. And what's nice with all of our hotels, many of them, again, range from 3, 4, 5-star, 3, 4, 5 diamond, but also many of them also provide free shuttle service from the airport to the hotel. Now, as I mentioned, we do have different categories available on board Alaska Railroad. Now, what I'm going to suggest right here, folks, is really the premium category. Certainly, if it fits for each and every one of you and your friends and family within your budget, it's something to certainly consider, and that is Gold Star service. For a little bit more, folks, you get the big, beautiful glass dome windows, as you can see right here, not to mention many other great benefits, and we're going to talk more about that as I go through today's presentation. As I mentioned, we do include Denali National Park. Millions of acres at Denali National Park. If you want to travel to an area where there's not only some fantastic wildlife, as you can see right here, but also lots of open spaces, consider Alaska in particular. Going to Denali National Park. Now, what's nice is on our Alaska packages, we also have some fun optional excursions that you can take advantage of, such as going on a dog sled ride, all right? How about mushing your own team of dogs? Yes, folks, you can do that. We offer this in Talkeetna. We offer this in Fairbanks, okay, right? You get some great optional activities that you can certainly build into your package if you choose. And I always say, when in Alaska. Now, as I mentioned, again, just a little bit shorter. So if you're looking to stay within a certain price point or a certain budget, and maybe are looking for a getaway trip either on its own or as an extension onto an Alaska cruise that you may already be booked on, or you may have future cruise credits on, and you'd like to extend your trip before or after, here's a great package to consider. Now, as we keep with our Alaska by Rail theme today. How about Alaska Adventure with Alaska Railroad? Now, this is nice too because, again, just like the previous two packages, you get a chance to spend time in Anchorage. And what's great about our trips, everyone, all of our trips with Railbookers, whether it's Alaska, Canada, Europe, or anywhere around the world, they're all independent style vacations, flexible, independent travel. So, what does that mean? Unlike a traditional escorted bus tour or a traditional guided tour, where, as an example, from 6 to 8 in the morning, it's breakfast. From 8 to 12, it's sightseeing. From 12 to 2, it's lunch. From 2 to 5, it's more sightseeing. From 5 to 7, it's dinner. From 7 p.m. on, there's an evening activity, and that's most days and nights on a guided escorted bus tour. You see, our tours, folks, as an example in Anchorage, as you can see here on the trolley, we offer this every 1 to 2 hours from morning throughout the afternoon, even into the early evening. You get to decide what time you would like to explore the city, and you get to hop on and hop off the trolley wherever you would like. And that's a great highlight because it allows you to spend as much or as little time in each of the areas. Now, as you'll see in some of these next packages, we also visit some of the other great iconic sites in Alaska, such as Seward, a coastal community. Now, by the way, when you do upgrade to Gold Star service, I showed everyone the beautiful glass dome windows, as you could see right here. But did you know you get 2 complimentary adult beverages included? And yes, as you can see on the right-hand side of your screen, they have their own private bar, car, lounge as well. Its own private bar that's available for each and every one of you throughout your journey. Now, I will mention too, when you travel on any of our packages in Alaska, it is train travel during the day. There are no overnight trains on Alaska Railroad, or certainly in Alaska. But I always say that's really the prime time you want to be traveling anyway, because you're going to get a chance to see some of the iconic sites and towns and villages such as Talkeetna, and not to mention the great wildlife. Now, by the way, when you travel to Denali National Park, and this is on any of our packages, here's an example where you will have a full day guided tour. And folks, it starts around 6:37 a.m. in the morning. You'll get picked up right at the Denali Caverns. Typically, they'll make a couple stops along the way and pick up other passengers. And then you are into Denali National Park. In fact, you go almost 100 miles into the park itself, and it is a full day. Plenty of time to stop for pictures, videos. Lunch is included as well during this day. You will have a local tour guide, a local park ranger that will be with you from the time you depart in the morning until the time you arrive, which would be early in the evening. As I mentioned, full day guided tour. And again, being able to pick and choose what hotels you would like to stay at, we certainly, or your local travel advisor can certainly help you do that. And that's the beauty of our trips too. We talked about the difference of going on a guided escorted bus tour, where certainly it's going to be much more structured and regimented from morning until night, pretty much every day on the trip. That's what's great with independent style vacations, which is all of our trips to Alaska, is you have lots of flexibility, lots of options, as you can see here. Now, these samples happen to be in Europe, but whether it's in Europe, Canada, Alaska, if you want to add on any destination, maybe again, some of you are already booked or planning to go on a cruise in Alaska, but you'd like to see more of Alaska itself, well, you can do that before or after, and we can help you do that. You could take a round trip journey in and out of Anchorage or in and out of Fairbanks. You could book a trip in reverse. You can upgrade to first class, or in this case, Gold Star service. You can also add sightseeing tours or private tours. And as I mentioned earlier, you can even stay at a 3-star hotel, as an example, in Anchorage, a 4-star hotel in Talkeetna, and a 5-star hotel in Fairbanks, or vice versa, start in Fairbanks, end in Anchorage, but you can do it all in the same trip. So again, maybe some of you have a special anniversary or birthday coming up, or maybe you had it last year and you weren't able to celebrate that special occasion. Why not have something to look forward to? We can help you do that. Now, some other trips to consider in Alaska. How about our Alaska Adventure with Alaska Railroad? And again, that's the pricing listed. Now, one of the last packages I want to highlight, Northern Lights and Alaska Railroad in the winter time. How cool is that? So if you want to see the Northern Lights, this is the time to do it. It's going to be in the winter months, certainly right there in Fairbanks, and traveling on Alaska Railroad, such a great opportunity. And again, getting a chance to see some of these great cities. By the way, take a look at the pricing too, folks. As I mentioned, pricing based in double occupancy per person, 2 to a room, but we do have single rates available. And one of the last trips I want to highlight is our Grand Alaska Adventure on board Alaska Railroad. Now this heads southbound. By the way, here's another highlight whenever you upgrade to Gold Star service. You have your own outdoor viewing platform. And that's what you see here with the man and woman as they're looking out, getting that fresh Alaska air. As I mentioned, Seward, another great coastal area. In fact, we do include a luncheon cruise on board one of the local ships right there in Seward. And you'll have a tour guide on board that will take you on a morning tour where lunch is included. Now, I talked about Talkeetna. Did I mention some of these quaint little towns, quaint little villages? Here's a country store, right, that pretty much has a little bit of everything that you could choose from. And I will say some great little pubs and restaurants also scattered throughout Alaska. Denali National Park. Again, if this is on your bucket list, your wish list, if maybe some of you were originally planning to travel internationally, but now want to stay closer to home, and that includes beautiful Alaska, why not plan your trip today to travel in 2022 or even into 2023? And Railbookers can certainly help you do that, whether it's in the months of May, June, July, August into September, or right here, folks, in the winter months where you can see the northern lights. We got you covered. Now, I did want to mention too with Railbookers, not only again do we do Alaska, not only do we offer Canada, we even offer Europe and around the world. And if you look at this map, folks, that's all the trains in Europe. So if Europe is on your wish list, Railbookers packages it all together for all of you, from rail, hotels, sites, meals, activities. And when you book through your local travel advisor, not only are they able to book any of these trips, but they also can book your flights. And if you're curious how rail operators are maintaining a safe environment, whether it's here locally in the US and Alaska or throughout Canada, Europe, and around the world, yes, facial coverings would be required, certainly until further notice, both on board the trains as well as at the train stations for staff and passengers. They have increased the cleaning and sanitation protocol. And when you book with Railbookers or through your local travel advisor, everything now is electronic. So you'll get your tickets, your electronic tickets, your electronic documents that certainly you're able to print on your own if you'd like. Folks, there's not a better time, certainly, to travel domestically before traveling internationally. For those of you that want to stay closer to home than traveling to Alaska, and whether it's its own Alaska by Rail vacation package, or whether it's in conjunction or in combination to an Alaska cruise, either before or after, Railbookers has you covered. By the way, our phone number is listed in the bottom left-hand corner. That number is 1-888-829-3040. Again, 1-888-829-3040. As I mentioned, we are open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also visit us online at railbookers.com, or even better, contact your local travel advisor who can book any of these trips to Alaska, who can help customize any of these trips to Alaska or Canada or Europe or anywhere around the world, including even booking your flights. Folks, when you're ready to plan that trip, pick up that phone, give us or your local travel advisor a call, certainly for any questions that you may have, or to travel with your friends and family on your trip of a lifetime. On behalf of Railbookers and our sister brand, Amtrak Vacations, thank you all so much for taking the time to listen and view today's pre-recorded on-demand webinar featuring Alaska by Rail. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great rest of your day, your evening, or your morning, whenever you have viewed today's pre-recorded on-demand webinar. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.